Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1997 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that not only carries the legacy of one of America's most beloved presidents, but also remains an iconic piece in the world of U.S. coinage. Whether you're a collector, a coin enthusiast, or someone curious about its value and history, this coin has more to offer than just face value. Let's uncover why the 1997 Kennedy half dollar stands out, what makes it collectible, and how much it might be worth today. The Kennedy half dollar was first issued in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The American public was deeply affected by the president's death, and the U.S. Mint acted quickly to honor his memory. The half-dollar denomination was chosen, and within weeks of Kennedy's assassination, the design work was already underway. Sculptors Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, who had both worked on official portraits of the president, created the obverse and reverse of the coin. It was a fitting tribute to a man who inspired a generation and represented hope and renewal for the country. Now, fast forward to 1997. By this time, the Kennedy half dollar had been in circulation for over 3 decades. But there was a significant shift in public usage. Fewer people were using half dollars in everyday transactions, and as a result, the demand for the coin in general circulation had declined sharply. In fact, by the early 1980s, the half dollar was barely seen in cash registers or wallets. The 1997 Kennedy half dollar was primarily minted for collectors, not for everyday commerce. That alone makes it interesting, because when a coin stops being part of common currency and becomes more of a collector's item, its appeal and potential value often increase. Let's break it down further. In 1997, the U.S. Mint produced Kennedy half dollars at 2 main facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. You'll find these versions marked by their mint marks, P for Philadelphia and D for Denver, located just above the date on the obverse side of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 20,848,000 coins, while the Denver Mint struck about 19,965,000. That's a total mintage of just over 40 million coins. Now, while that might seem like a lot, keep in mind that many of these never made it into circulation. Instead, they were sold in mint sets and collector bags, which means that high-grade examples are much more common than heavily circulated ones. There's also another version worth mentioning, the 1997 S-Proof Kennedy half dollar. These coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint and bear the S mint mark. Proof coins are struck using a special process that involves polished dies and planchets to create coins with sharp details and a mirror-like finish. The U.S. Mint made these primarily for collectors, and they were included in the 1997 proof set. About 2.05 million proof coins were minted in 1997. These are highly sought after for their aesthetic quality and pristine condition. The composition of the 1997 Kennedy half dollar is also important. Unlike the 1964 version, which was made of 90% silver, the regular circulation and clad proof 1997 Kennedy half dollars are made from a copper-nickel clad composition, that's 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin a silvery appearance while being much less expensive to produce than silver coins. But there's another layer, the silver proof. While there wasn't a regular 90% silver Kennedy half dollar made for circulation in 1997, the U.S. Mint also produced a 90% silver proof version for collectors as part of the 1997 silver proof set. These coins carry the same design, but their silver content gives them intrinsic value beyond face value or collectability. Now let's talk about the coin's value. A regular 1997 Kennedy half dollar from either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint that has been in circulation is generally worth its face value, 50 cents. However, if you have a coin in mint state, that is, a coin that has never been used in everyday transactions and still has its original luster, it can be worth more. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can fetch between $2 to $8 depending on demand and quality. That's not bad for a coin that's less than 30 years old. If you're lucky enough to have a proof coin, particularly the silver proof from the 1997 silver proof set, the value increases substantially. A typical 1997 S silver proof Kennedy half dollar in perfect condition can sell for $10 to $25 or even higher if it's certified as a PR70 by grading services like PCGS or NGC. These high-grade proofs are especially attractive to collectors who want perfection in their collections. In today's market, the demand for Kennedy half dollars continues to grow as more people enter the hobby of coin collecting. Whether you found one in your drawer, inherited a collection, or purchased it online, the 1997 Kennedy half-dollar has a story worth telling, from its historical roots in national tragedy to its continued presence in modern coinage. So, the next time you come across a Kennedy half-dollar from 1997, take a closer look. You might just be holding more than 50 cents, you're holding a piece of history.